All right, back at it again. This is Spiritual Art of War with another episode. As you know, we've been following the Diddy case, the Fed Rico case, and information just came out. There was a so-called Jane Doe that testified against him, similar to the same situation that Cassie went through with the so-called freakoffs, and it has been revealed by various sources that this alleged Jane Doe that testified today was none other than Daphne Joy, the baby mama of 50 Cent, right? Have a baby by me, be a millionaire, right? Well, it seems that the money is not hitting right. And see, this is actually exposing big time. I've actually seen on Threads, which is the app that is made by Meta or Facebook, which is also connected to Instagram. And there's a woman on there that are shocked at how much she was paid for some of these vacations that she had with Diddy and the alleged freak offs. Now, I'm going to actually go into some of the details of the prices. And if you don't know who Daphne Joy is, you can look her up. She, I believe, is, I think she's half Filipino, half Puerto Rican, from what I recall. She has a son with 50 Cent. And as you know, that there was a rivalry between 50 Cent and Diddy over the last few years. And that's because that Daphne Joy was one of the girlfriends of Diddy over the last 4 years. In fact, their relationship or their disconnect only occurred because of the fact that he got locked up, meaning that their relationship was going even all the way up until that point. And I'm going to read how much she was getting paid. Okay. And I'm going to kind of go into what I think about these numbers afterwards. Now, this is actually from Threads. I'm reading this. This is information is coming from a guy by the name of Funny Salesman on Threads. Maybe it's the same one on Instagram, but I'm going to read it real quick. He says here, Daphne Joy, who shares a child with 50 Cent, took the stand and said she was with Diddy for 4 years up until his arrest. She told prosecutors she would sleep with Diddy every time she saw him, took ecstasy and Molly with him, and accepted $10,000 for a 9-day trip to Turks and Caicos and 6 days in the Bahamas. She admitted she always had child care ready for 50's son whenever Diddy called. Witnesses say 50 was heated after this came out in court and allegedly the reason 50 hated Diddy for years. Okay? So here's the interesting thing. She's being paid in one of these instances on a 2-week vacation to Turks and Caicos and to the Bahamas. She was paid $10,000. That's $5,000 a week. Okay? That is less, that's less than 1,000 a day, 24/7. Now, why am I bringing this up? Because you have women out here that think they're so worth so much, but Daphne Joy is a certified baddie. Okay, what I mean by certified baddie, meaning she's the type of girl that an athlete and an entertainer would want to be with, be seen in public with, going to clubs and taking trips and walking down red carpets, okay, having a child with, okay? That is what is defined in modern times as a baddie, okay? If you go on scale of 1 through 10, I would say it's about an 8, okay? You have to be at least an 8 to be considered a baddie. Okay. Now, this is all from I'm speaking as a sociologist. Okay. I'm speaking as a sociologist in terms of these terms and definitions. Okay. But giving you an idea as a commoner, as a layman, what that would be. Okay. So as we know, we're paying attention to what's going on in Babylon. And as Babylon collapses, we're analyzing some of aspects of the collapse of Babylon. Okay. So When you look at this, these women are out here average at best, like Kevin Samuel said. And they really out here thinking a man should provide a high-end lifestyle. Meanwhile, when you do the math, in fact, let me do the calculation real quick, okay? Because that's 15 days. This is access to a baddie for 24 hours. Let's do this. $10,000 divided by 15. 666. Boy, that's wicked. For the price of $666, a man can have access to a baddie, even a baby mama of a rapper. Probably even a baby mama of an NFL or NBA player. These women are for sale. And I'm going to tell you this, like, these women, depending on what they do, because some of these women that are out here that are highly visible, they don't, they okay, I'm going to say it like this. And I can recall this because Daphne Joy, I believe in the time past, I've actually seen pictures of her with her father, with her dad. Okay, and so you got women out here, they don't want to go all the way into the deep open sex work industry, which is like things like, OnlyFans and things like that, right? So they have to go the a route of like getting money through being getting like these influencer deals like Fashion Nova, club appearances, which that died down. They used to pay a lot of money before the CV19 for like these IG models to do club appearances. So a lot of these women before the whole OnlyFans era came into the picture, they were getting their money because they were, meeting these guys that had money. They were being taken out on dates, getting cash apped, going on shopping sprees, being flued out. And then they were making the rest of their money through brand deals. Fashion Nova being one of them. Another one is like Pretty Little Things, so on and so forth. Some of them even got into trying to do the whole fitness model training where they would basically do like, set up one-on-one consultations to set up people's like fitness goals, giving them diet plans and things like that. And then, that died down, right? So yeah, they had to find other ways of making money. And you got to remember, one of these things with these women that are baddies, have very high maintenance upkeeps. So if they can get a guy that can pay them for 24 hours to kick it for $600, they're gonna probably do it because you got to factor in these women need their nails done. They got spa treatments, massages, waxing, eyebrows, lashes, hair, all these things. That's a large amount of money that is needed for upkeep. This is outside of them eating out, going to their Starbucks, getting their coffees, going out to eat with friends, getting their Uber Eats, getting their little like, their Chick-fil-A or whatever it is that they order for Uber Eats on a daily basis. Because many of these women are not going to sit home and cook. They like to be outside, right? They're going to buy drinks. If guys are not buying them drinks, they're going to be buying drinks. They're going to be going to happy hours. So all these things, these are bills that they're running up. Some of these women have, cars. They go get themselves a little baby Benz, right? That baby Benz car note and insurance, that might be over like $1,200 a month. Then they want to stay in a nice apartment. They want to stay in a $3,000, $4,000 a month apartment in a nice part of town. All this stuff adds up. And a lot of times people think when they look at these women on Instagram, they think that they're really touching a lot of money. The ones that are touching more money are the ones that are willing to go into what I call the open sex worker market, right? Meaning the online sex worker market where they're exposing themselves, where they can never take that back because, and we're talking about the ones that are highly visible, the highly visible woman, okay? Not the girl that's out here just trying to make it happen and work and she's not highly visible. She got less than 10,000 followers. I'm talking about these women, they got 500,000 plus followers. They're making money out of that and they're able to get enough to where they don't got to go this far. But from some of those that are like Daphne Joy, this is what they're doing to upkeep. And the people can't believe it, right? A lot of these women can't believe it. They're like, oh, I can't believe she was only getting, 1,100 a night is nothing, for a girl like her. That I wouldn't even do that, blah, 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 blah. These women are all capping, okay? That is how bad it is out here. That, dude, you got guys out here that are sports betting, doing freaking FanDuel and stuff, DraftKings. You got dudes out here, regular everyday dudes that are hitting little parlays for 15, 20,000. You're basically telling me that a guy that hits a little parlay on DraftKings or FanDuel or whatever, he had a little $15,000 parlay, he could take 5,000 and he could just DM a woman like Daphne Joy, the baby mama of 50 Cent, and have his way with her for 7 days? Forget about taking her over to Turks and Caicos in the Bahamas. He could just fly her out to where he's at and be like, look, I got 5 bands for you for the week. Go put your son up to for childcare, maybe her mother, maybe like a great aunt or whoever, or a trusted friend. And she gonna be like, hey, I gotta make this little money, but it's 5 bands, but when I get back, I'm gonna give you at least a 1,000 for looking after my child. And you got a lot of women that would do that. And this is a woman that is highly visible, like known to be the mother of, of 50 Cent's children. 50 Cent, probably one of the most influential rappers of all time, definitely top 5 most influential rapper of the last 20 years. Globally, on a global level. We ain't just talking about local, we're talking about globally recognized, right? And to think that for $10,000, a man can have his way with her for 2 weeks, and he put her through freakoffs. You know what I'm saying? Put her through freakoffs during these times. Bruh. You know what I'm saying? You know the slam dunk contest with Vince Carter, with Kenny Smith in the background, with Vince Carter using "It's Over" when he did the under the legs, the through the legs joint. It's over, bruh. This whole Cassie thing, this whole Daphne Joy thing, this whole Diddy thing really put an eye opening on what these women are willing to do for the money. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Okay? They say money is the root of evil. The love of money. These women are willing to do so many things for money. And this is not even really that much money, if you really think about it. So it's like when you see this, the local baddie, the local chick that's like decent looking, that's good looking, she got 10K, 50K followers, 100,000 followers, and she's out here trying to keep up with the Joneses. Bruh, these women are for sale. Like, these women are for sale. And you got to think about it. Women don't even really understand value of like beauty, right? Like, they'll look at a girl like Daphne Joy and they'll look at her status only as like her being attached to 50 Cent, having a child with 50 Cent, her having probably over 1 million followers. I'm assuming. I haven't checked her IG. And they'll think like, oh, she's worth this much. She's so much more valuable than another woman. If you come to a city like Houston, we got a large Vietnamese population and a decent sized Filipino population. Me being from the city, and bro, and this is not even California. I've seen women that look like Daphne Joy. You can go downtown Houston. You can go you can go to U of H. You can go to U of H and you'll see a tan skinned Filipino slash Vietnamese chick that goes to University of Houston that look like Daphne Joy. And she just working at the local, like, bro, she working, bro, like, she probably working at Smoothie King or something. Like, you could go to them Asian, you got these little Vietnamese Asian tea shops all around the city, and you can see chicks like that. So, like, women don't even understand, like, Diddy did it for the novelty of the fact that she was that. Bruh, like, it man, listen, bruh. Listen, bruh. I told you guys out here, when you scale it down on a lower level with just on the common level, the common man's level. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The way things are going, if you just have your own place, if you're a man, you're in decent shape. You ain't even in great shape. I'm talking about decent shape. 20% body fat or lower. If you're in that 15 to 20% body fat, your average height, you got a whatever hairstyle. Maybe you can grow your hair out and have baby dreads, cornrows, you know what I'm saying, regular old dog braids or something like that. You know what I'm saying? You got decent clothes, nothing crazy. You don't got no high-end designer, just some regular stuff that fits you well. You got a studio apartment, not even a regular one bedroom, a studio apartment. You got a decent car that's maybe no more than freaking 10 years old, that's in good condition. You keep it clean. These women out here are desperate. They're in a desperation mode. Dudes is out here telling you to level up. These influencer guys, these red pill guys talking, they're making you level up for a woman that's willing to sell herself for who knows how much for a night, bruh. Like, dude, it's over, bruh. Like, this stuff is exposing what's going on in this society and what these value of these women really is. If you ask guys before this information came out, if you ask them how much you think if you wanted to be with 50 Cent's baby mama for 2 weeks and you was gonna take her to Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, let's say you already paid for it and she's just gonna tag along with you, how much you think it would be? Dudes out here will probably think 25K a week. That's what probably dudes is thinking. 50,000 for 2 weeks to make her leave her son to be with you. Listen, bro. This woman was taking 5K a week. There's a lot of guys that can get quick access to that one way or another. Maybe through if they work and have a high-end job, but there's guys getting tax refunds, you know what I'm saying, that will gladly, if they really feel like that's their type and they wanted to knock off the bucket list, that type of situation. And I'm speaking for these guys that are moving in that, moving to the left, not to the right. You know what I'm saying? That are, walking in the ways of the devil, okay, and not in the ways of the Most High. This is how accessible some of these women are. That's crazy. That's crazy. Even when I saw the number, I was like, what? So it actually is going, the price of a woman's box is actually lower than we thought. And I told a woman in the comments that was surprised, I said, listen, because so many women are no longer virgins, the value of of sexual access to a woman plummets even lower. Because women crash their value by readily giving their bodies away to men that they're not married to. They plummeted the value to the point that it's worth this much. And this woman, think about it. Not only was he paying, you got to think about this. He was paying for access to her and to put her on drugs so she can be in 24-hour, 18-hour straight freak-offs with random men. And by the way, he was telling her, and she could not use protection. Part of the deal of her doing this, she had to sleep with these men without protection. What? Man, listen, bro. Now that this is out, the guys, listen, the tricks, the informed tricks, the tricks that calculate these type of things and start doing the per hour, half hour, overnight, 24 hours, weekend, they doing calculations right now. And they rubbing their hands like Birdman. Now they got a good idea of how much these women that are actually worth, how much these 304s are worth. Boy, it's an evil world we're living in. Let me know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. I'm out.